pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank everybody for coming today. This is Freestone County Commissioners Court, May the 20th, 2026. We do have a posting reports, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, as amended, also known as the Texas Open Meetings Act. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Thank you, ma'am. At this time, we will hear any members of the public who would like to speak. We each have 3 minutes to do so. Yes, sir. You go first.
All right, I'll go first. Good morning, and I'm sure you'll see me every meeting from now on.
Okay.
I heard this past week that another data center has been proposed in our county, and that you will be hearing information about that next month. So that's what I want to address at the moment, because I want you to start to think about this. This is hugely important. All across the country right now, people are stepping up and pushing back strong against the data centers. The biggest reason I can think of is this, and I would rather read it than try and just speak from my heart. Texas has always been a state that builds things. We farm, ranch, and we produce the food, the fuel, the fiber that power America. We champion growth, private enterprise, and innovation. Lone Star remains a global beacon of what freedom and opportunity can achieve. But Texans also demand smart, common sense decisions. And right now, we need to have an honest conversation about the explosive growth of hyperscale data centers that are rapidly consuming our land, our water, and our power. It's time for a temporary moratorium on new hyperscale data center development in Texas until we fully assess the long-term impacts on our infrastructure, agriculture, economy, and communities. We must not surrender our resources to global corporations. And they're all coming from the Silicon Valley. The oligarchs are pressing everything on us. They want to get into every part of our private lives, and that's what these data centers are all about. They are rising at breakneck speed across rural Texas, drawn by cheap land, reliable energy, and pro-business climate. Texans deserve answers, and this is what I want you to consider before this continues unchecked. How much will these projects stress the ERCOT grid during summer peaks or winter storms? What happens to our property values and local infrastructure when prime farmland becomes industrial server farms? How much ground and surface water will be depleted? Who truly benefits from the tax incentives? When agriculture's needs collide with those of the global tech giants, whose interests really prevail? Then I've got a temporary moratorium is not anti-business, and that's the biggest pushback I get from everybody, or anti-innovation. It creates breathing room for lawmakers, regulators, utilities, water experts, landowners, agriculture to craft responsible guardrails, and you guys, before the industry outgrows our ability to manage it. I have one more thing I want to add to that, and I hope I have a little bit of time. But they use massive amounts of water and energy, which drains the power grids, causing an increase in utility rates for many people. Data center proposed right now for Lacey Lakeview, just north of Waco, by a Wyoming-based company named InfraKey, has a petition fighting back against it with nearly 4,000 signatures already. And their concerns are about the water usage and the heat released by the proposed plant. Data centers use an immense amount of water. Estimates of water to use and reuse is roughly 15 to 16 million gallons of water per day. The city of Lakeview, total water usage in December was less than that. the total town, and that's per day by that data center that is proposed there. Data centers run very hot. They can increase surrounding temperatures by more than 3 to 16 degrees. So, and I'm out of time, but I'll be back.
Now, real quick, to support what Sam is saying here, we know that moratoriums are possible, and we all have the power to do that. Hill County last week put in a moratorium for 1 year. All it really does is give us, the community, the opportunity to evaluate the landscape, the community, water sources, etc. You know, I'd be more than willing to be on a task force to look at this kind of stuff. What's proposed? We're not saying we don't like business, we do like business, we want it here, but we want to make sure our community is safe, that our children have water, we have water, etc. So, and there's right now 60 municipalities across the U.S. that have moratoriums on data centers. So I know the commissioners do have the power backed by the people of the community. Thank you.
Anybody else this morning? Public comments? I wish we could respond. I know that we can't on public comments like that. But I think the site that you're addressing is on the agenda for June the 17th. So we will be able to have reciprocation and conversation at that time. And appreciate you being here and coming and speaking.
Thank you.
Okay, if there are no other public comments, we will move to item number 1, which is approve the minutes of the May 6th regular meeting. Have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 2, voting to transfer. Have a transfers.
I'll make a motion to approve those transfers and then
I second.
Have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 3 is to approve the budget. We have 2 sets. very disheartening, that's for sure. Motion second, all in favor, aye? Motion carried. Item number 4 is approved payroll. Yeah,
Motion approved payroll.
Second.
motion second, all in favor, aye? Motion carried. Item number 5 is reports. Have a report from Justice Peace Precinct 3 for the month of April. Report from the District Clerk's Office for the month of April. So, report from our County Extension Agent for the month of April. Are there any other reports? No, do I have a motion to accept these reports?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor, aye? Motion carried. Item number 6, burn ban.
No action.
No action. So people know the burn ban is still off. Item number 7, special road use agreements. We have one, Valor Telecommunications. They have presented us with a $1 million bond. I do not see a road use agreement. Did we do one with Valor contingent upon bond?
I think we did, didn't we?
Right here at the
Yeah,
last meeting.
we were in Lubbock at school last.
I
This was,
Most of it was on,
Oh, there's
most of
one.
that was on the private road.
permit number 2465. Is what this will attach to.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Is there a motion to accept this bond to accommodate permit number 2465?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion second. All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 8 will be a table item. Item number 9 will be a table item. Item number 10 will be a table item.
Did they say why? Or were you any?
No, it says, Karen, do you know?
No.
Well, you want to vote to table each one of those?
We're about to table agenda items number 8, 9, and 10. Motion.
I'll make a motion. I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor, aye. Motion carried.
Stacy Dole was out sick, so she had to reschedule.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Item number 11 will be discuss sheriff's office salary grades.
Yes, we found some issues with the treasurer's office with my changes in my office that otherwise we wouldn't have noticed. But I think when we were all discussing the SV 22 funds and different stuff like that, we left out the rest of my office as far as where they belonged in the pay grades. And so when we made the changes, we found some multiple changes that need to be made. We can do that at budget, but I got one big one that has slipped through the cracks. And my sheriff's administrator is in the wrong pay grade. She never got put back into the right pay grade. It's actually $6,000 less than what she should be making. So I didn't know if we could get that corrected. I do have it in my budget, in my salary grade, in my salary budget from not having enough employees in the first place. But I would like to get her back where she belongs in that pay grade and get her the money that she's supposed to be getting, or should be getting.
And this is the person that just went into that position?
No. This is my sheriff's admin. This is Hannah.
Okay.
In 2024, there
And
was
that's
discussion
Kind of
about,
what I meant, so.
yeah, about pay grades and SB 22s
Yeah.
and grade 3.
And I was looking at a pay scale with just my SB 22, with everybody else removed from it that wasn't SB 22 available. And so when they got put back into that pay grade, it wasn't put back in the right spot, or she wasn't put back in the right spot.
Also, I've had numerous discussions with Ms. Hale, with you, with our treasurer. This needs to be done. I am 100% in favor of letting, we'll address the rest of it at budget time, but it definitely needs to be corrected, because I do know the duties that she is responsible for, and I do know that she is covering all those duties, 100%.
Yeah. And the fault's on me. I was concentrating on the SB 22. I take the blame for it. I've already told her that. It's just something that we don't look at it every day. We don't, unless we have a change like we've had, start moving people around, and we start looking, it's like, oh, something ain't right here. So,
You have the money in your budget to do it?
oh yeah.
I'll make a motion to let him do it.
I second.
I have a motion and a second, and, of course, to be raising the salary grade by $6,000.
Well, she'll be going in-
We'll be going from
So
a
now-
grade 1 to a grade 3.
Yeah, she should have been in that grade 3, not that grade 1.
Grade 1 to grade 3, and what's the position, the title of the position?
Sheriff's administrator. She basically takes care of me.
You got that?
Two of them.
Yeah.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye.
Thank
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Item number 12 is discuss and consider possible action on approval process and submissions of subdivision, plat, and replat applications for Freestone County.
Got one here.
So y'all should have a copy of the revisions that we have talked about. I know on one of them I had a typo, so I've already fixed that on the final one. I know on the plat applications, it was specified that y'all wanted, what did you call it, a letter of?
A will serve?
A will serve letter, as far as, local water supply and, electric providers, on those plat applications. And then on there, I did put, you know, attendance for Commissioners Court's mandatory for, possible approval, and that it is contingent, that the approval of the applications are contingent on paying the filing fees for the county clerk's office. I think just the main trouble that mainly the county clerk's office has been having is that people are not after we approve the plat or replat application, they're not going, to the county clerk's office and filing it and paying the filing fees. And I feel like, one, making the attendance mandatory, and it being contingent on them paying the filing fees will help cut down drastically on the number of plat and replat applications that they have sit on the desk waiting for somebody to come and pay the filing fees and come and take care of business. And then also on both of them, I added, an email address line on there where we had 2 forms of contact for them. And so, but other than that, most of it's still pretty much the same. Just whatever feedback that y'all have.
As long as it addresses your issues, if that addresses
Yeah, I was gonna say,
them.
very necessary
Yeah.
changes, and it's not making it harder on anybody, it's just keeps people to follow through with what they start. Because they can come in here and we can approve it, and if they're not following up after the fact, then it's a waste of the court's time. So it's just kind of keeps everybody to finalize what they're after to start with. And I don't think it creates any more burden. When we talk about the will serve letter from a water company and electric company, we do that to protect potential buyers of the property. They need to know when they buy from that person, other than verbal, is there a chance to get water from community water supply or electricity? They need to be told that, because in the past, we've had some developers that would sell a piece of property and not disclose everything. So this is just to protect the buyer, and keep everybody.
Good.
So I think it's good for everybody.
I'll make a motion to approve this revised plat application.
Second.
Motion, second, all in favor, aye?
And we need to go back to 7.
Motion carried.
It got by me.
Okay.
Yeah, we had, I keep forgetting we added that on there, application for plats and replats. We got one here in 2. And there anything wrong, we just need to approve it. If y'all want to look at it, it's cutting up inch or so place in between the 2 houses.
Yeah. And everything, they got the tax service and all that?
Yes,
There's,
sir.
Got it? Good deal.
Is it on the Humper?
I believe it is. Like a month. Have you been?
Good, don't need that.
yeah, I don't know, what else, everything else?
Yeah,
That's it.
that should
This
be,
is all in the city of Teague, and then this little part right here is what's in the county.
that's why we're having to get involved.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Is there a place for any of us to sign on?
It looks like
It's
it's
for
clerk.
Just
the
the
clerk,
clerk.
correct.
So we don't have to pass this around up here?
No, you just have to approve it to get your signature on it.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Thank you, guys.
I second.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried. And again, that was on item number 7.
Okay, thank you.
Do you want time to sign that so she can go ahead and take it down? Do you
Yes,
need to take it down
yeah.
right now?
I would love to.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You don't want to stick around?
Sir?
You don't want to stick around?
No, I'm good. I sell some real estate, that's about it. This is out of mine.
Well, I'm glad you could get on the agenda today.
Very much.
But I think that's helped that bunch, just been having it on there every time.
I did too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
It
So
was a
everybody don't have to
struggle
well,
for
wait.
people's
us.
got closing dates and,
Yeah.
you know, and they're
Yeah.
lenders and it's a title company. It's nice for us not to be the one slowing them down,
Yes.
you know? I guess we'll go ahead and go to item number 13 because Karen is going to explain to us, this is review quotes and consider possible action on vendor for website hosting for Freestone County's website. She has spent a lot of time getting to the bottom of what's going to be best for us, and
So I've,
it costs a lot of money either way, more than what we're used to paying.
I've gotten 3 quotes for y'all. One of them is from Sierra, which is who we use for our website hosting. I had a good little discussion with them a couple weeks ago. Because of some changes and stuff with Sierra, they are increasing the price of the hosting fee. Normally, we pay about $1,500 a year for them to host our website. It is being raised to $9,550. They said that a lot of it is just because of the fact that they have not been making any sort of money off of hosting these websites.
We catch up with one time.
Yeah, and so, the first one that's, in there is the quote from Sierra, for the migration fee to update our website and, start making it ADA compliant. Right now, the migration fee is almost $24,000, but it's because we have a lot of pages on our website. We have they said we have the highest in the state of Texas. We have almost 200 pages on our website.
And that is because of,
The Commissioner's Court videos. They said over half of our stuff is Commissioner's Court related, is why our page number's so high. If we can start editing that down and, taking the videos off and just putting the link to the YouTube website, that goes straight to our, Freestone County YouTube page that has all of our website, all of our
Yeah,
videos.
that makes sense.
It would cut it down, they said, I think, down to either that $15,590 price or that $8,950
Where's
price.
the money page?
It should be,
the very first page.
yeah, it's got it broken down in the
Right.
email, and then there's an actual price quote, from Sierra. It says our account page is 191. They said that we have the highest in the state of Texas. And so it's got, the breakdown of like if we decided to, do the migration in this year, or if we decide to do it in next year's budget, how that would all kind of pan out. From what, they showed me the different, tools and everything that they're gonna be offering. One of them is to help with, Commissioner's Court agendas and stuff, how they're posted on the website. And it would be all on one page instead of it being on 6 different pages like ours is now. And it would have the link to the agenda, the link to the minutes, and the link to the YouTube video all on one page, instead of it being separated on 2 or 3 different pages like ours is now. It's supposed to be a lot more efficient and easier for the public to use, because that's been probably out of everyone in the county, the people that add stuff to the website, it's either me, Maria, who's also in our office, the county clerk's office does stuff on their page, and the Commissioner's Court stuff, and then the auditor's office and treasurer's office, they put their reports and stuff on there. So as far as anything else being done on the website, normally it's Maria or I that are doing it. And so, and the feedback that we get from the public is, our website is not user-friendly at all. And I can agree, it is not user-friendly. And so the Sierra has definitely worked on trying to make their websites a lot more user-friendly and to make them ADA compliant, which is now a state law. We have, I think they pushed us back to 2028 when we need to be ADA compliant with our websites. And so and with that, part of the ADA stuff with Sierra, it's an extra fee. And so that's the one thing that, and from what I could tell with those, with the demo that I did with them, it is a lot easier to do, and it looks like it's gonna be a lot more user-friendly. The main issue, I know that was gonna be the big deal, is the money, because it is going up almost 10 times.
Wow.
And so that was the one main thing about Sierra. I did contact them because they also host our emails for all the county employees that have an email address. And they said if we, for some reason, decided not to go with Sierra for the website, they would still host our emails and it would not affect anything. And so, just keeping that in mind.
That's a whole different charge.
Yes. Yeah, we get charged monthly for our emails, and then for the website hosting, it's just once a year. The second quote that I got, I have a quote to it, is from GovStat. I've been talking with a really wonderful lady named Stephanie, and to get the website started, and she said with the payment and stuff, it would be however y'all wanted to do it, if we were gonna do everything at once, or if we needed to wait until the beginning of the 2027 budget. She said that they were very flexible on what we could do. To get it started would be the $13,190, and that they would build the website pretty much however we wanted it, and then they would give me or whoever's going to be managing the website, which most likely would be me and Maria, and then we could give access to whoever else needed to for their own webpage and stuff. Theirs was very user-friendly. The ADA compliance part is already built into the system, so it's not an additional charge. And for them to host the website every year, it's that $4,697 a year. And I think if I remember right, I gotta look back in it. I think this price is good for 5 years. And then the third quote that I've got is from Revise, and the guy that I talked to, Kurt, very nice. I did like the layouts of their websites. Their pricing, I think, was a little more. Their back end stuff to me was not as easy and straightforward as GovStat was, or and with Sierra, their back end isn't as easy, but since we've been using it for so long, it's kind of habit to pick and go where you need to go and do what you need to do. But I'm fine with whatever y'all choose. I personally am fine, really like to GovStat, and if y'all wanted to stay with Sierra, I'm totally fine with that too, because since we already have that relationship with TAC and Sierra, but it's whatever y'all think is the best. GovStat. Here, Andy, put one of Andy's in there.
I can't find it. I'm missing it.
Yeah.
Going back to why we have the most in the state.
Mhm.
I don't want to be the highest in anything. And the YouTube that's the biggest part of that?
Yes, so now, for right now, when it comes to, whenever I was talking to Jason and Rachel with Sarah, they said that the majority of why we have so many pages on our website is because of the commissioner's court videos. So how that works is the county, from what I understand, county clerk's office, y'all send it to Sierra, right, for them to upload it to the website. Whenever they do that, they create a section on that web page, which is considered an additional page, and they section it out by year and month, and that's why the number is so high.
Well, let's just go, I mean, how far back do you?
Some of it we could clean up because I think those commissioners' court videos go back, what, 10, 15 years? Then it goes back a while. And so, I mean, we could clean that up to where we can get that migration fee down.
The migration fee, so I see it plain and simple on the Sierra quote. But how does that factor into GovStack?
GovStack, they would be, that 13,000, they're building us a brand new, complete website.
But don't we still have to,
That's part of the
we
migration
still
fee.
have to house all that old data somewhere?
They would be from what I understood, and I can clarify this with Stephanie as well, that 13 is a migration fee as well, and then they're also building us a website, however, whatever layout we want it, and everything.
So there won't be any problem with the migration fee from Sierra to GovStack if we were to go with GovStack?
As far as I know of, there shouldn't be an issue.
Because we're running this issue with the other camp data and all the other stuff.
On the quote from TAC, or from Sierra, are we sure that it would be the full 23.9? Or would it be, is there a possibility that it's for 1 through 49 pages, 8,900, or do we know it's going to be an additional 50?
So, as of right now, it's at 23.9, and it's just because of how many pages we have on our website. Whenever, and I talked with Rachel, she's the one that kind of helps with the uploads and stuff that offices send in to be on the website if Maria or I are not able to do it. And she said that she would help me clean up those pages, whatever pages that we needed taken off, deleted, anything, any documents that, you know, for, can't think of the word at the moment, but for retention reasons and stuff, if it's past the whatever year mark, she said that she would help us no matter what to get that cleaned up to where we can make that migration fee a lot cheaper.
But based on what we're looking at now, if we go with TAC, we're going to spend $23,900 upfront with a new annual fee of $9,500 per year. GovStack would give us the same service for $13,190 upfront, which is $10,700 cheaper, and $4,697 a year versus Sarah at $9,550.
That 9,500 is crazy.
So I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So on the revised, you got 2,400 on the annual, 3,400 on the AI chat box. Is all this is this all one?
That those are add-on children, your actual quotes is on the page before that.
They've got a lower annual
They've
fee.
got,
Yeah, they have a lower annual, but from what, Kurt, he was very nice. I really enjoyed the presentation that he presented to me and everything. Just from what I could tell, the back end part was a lot more complicated, and it was gonna be a lot more steps to try to get stuff ADA compliant and everything. Whereas with GovStack, once you upload whatever you need to, their system automatically does whatever it needs to make it ADA compliant and put it on the website. And then with Sierra, they have that ability, but it's an extra, I think it's like $1,500 a month to do that ADA compliance.
All these add-ons scare me, like what are we, okay?
There's
Because I mean, what are we getting on it for our buck on the other, and then you gotta cha-ching these add-ons, I mean, it's, you're back up.
And that was the good thing with GovStack. Everything that she presented to me was all included in our
Yeah,
yearly.
I'm not comfortable with all these add-ons, because, I mean, just a logo design, they're gonna do us a new website, well, there's $5,500.
Yeah, that you would think would be total
Included in
into
the,
the
right, I mean,
upfront
and
one-time
then
fee.
you've got all these other 2,400, I mean, the list goes on and on. Yeah.
Something else to keep in mind, the GovStack quote expires June the 4th.
And she said that she, if we needed to, I don't think that the number's gonna change very much, if at all, if this is something that we need to table and do more research on. And, she said that if y'all had any questions, she was more than willing to be able to answer them. I don't think she'd be able to come to Commissioner's Court, because I think she doesn't live in Texas. The company's based in the US, but I think she lives in Florida or something, so it would be hard for her to come here for Commissioner's Court. So it'd be kind of one of those things we have to do a Zoom call and,
And that's GovStack you're talking about?
yes.
So, we, pretty much, we can't table, we got it, because it runs out the 4th, right?
I think our next meeting is the 3rd,
3rd, okay.
so
You've done a lot of homework on this.
I've been working on this
This
for about
9,500
5
a year
months.
kills, you know, it's dead as far as I'm concerned, 9,500 a year.
Yeah, double.
Double. I think GovStack's the only option. These add-ons scare me. I mean, it's. with a
I'll
quote-
vote on it.
No, I mean, because, yeah. Scanning fees, I mean, it's just, there's 2 pages of it. And it's all 2,400 to 6, yeah.
Yes, our next regular meeting is June 3rd, if we don't have a special meeting before then.
I'm all right. I hate things are up, but, I mean, I'm okay with going to GovStack, I mean, and just get it behind us.
Is that a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is that a second?
Yes, sir.
Have a motion, second, any other comments? Motion carried.
I just hate to keep tabling a lot of stuff and kicking it down the road.
The motion
Till we
is to-
create a deadline.
To leave Sierra for website hosting and enter into a contract with GovStack. Item number 14 will be a no action. Item number 15 is to discuss and consider possible action on authorization for Lakewood subdivision, HOA, to add up to 6 streetlights to be installed by Encore.
Okay, I'm back up here again. So Mandy, someone had reached out to Mandy from the Lakewood HOA. Since Lakewood HOA is in county limits, they're not in city limits, they've voiced the necessity that there needs to be some additional street lights that are put into the subdivision. Since it is the county's jurisdiction, they have to have authorization from the county to be able to put those light posts in, and we have to tell Encore, because I think Encore's the electric provider there, that they're wanting these up to 6 additional streetlights in their subdivision. Lakewood HOA is covering the whole cost. They just have to have authorization from the county saying that.
We basically need somebody to step in and say, okay, well, we're out of city limits, we're in the county doesn't want to come in and mess with us for private property, so we need help getting streetlights put up. Encore is one of the most difficult people I've ever dealt with in my entire life. They will not, I've talked to upper management, I've talked to everybody they're possibly can be. They told me to go to my county, and that's my last resort. If y'all have any options, any direction of where we need to go, because our people are mad, especially with all the burglaries going on in the county. It's very, very dark in Lakewood if y'all have them back there, and so we need to get some street lights put up, and I need some direction of how to get there. So.
You need some contact info for some other people, and none, we got them.
From what I understood, we have to initiate the request to Encore, and that's all we have to do, and they'll be able to provide streetlights.
Okay, but if you need contact, we got some contact people in
Yes,
Tyler.
that would be greatly appreciated, yes.
Or I do. He needs to earn his money.
And I also want to say I do appreciate you guys coming all the way into Lakewood, the Lakewood sign, filling the potholes that come on there. I do appreciate the county doing that. Because the roads are very expensive and they're going to take care of. So I do appreciate y'all for doing that.
Pass that along to
Yeah.
Mom, couldn't be here today. Is there a motion for the county to contact Encore and give authorization for up to 6 additional streetlights be put in that subdivision at the expense of the Lakewood subdivision HOA?
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye. Motion carried. Item number 16 is finalized documents to amend County Road 298.
So, we talked about it for a while now. Just want to get everybody together to be able to sign that final document to abandon that road. We have the agreement to turn around, emergency services, everything like that done. So now it's actually the county paperwork for commissioners to sign to abandon it, to go, for everybody to be able to track
So
it.
there still will be a 298, but up to the cattle guard and locked gate.
That's correct, Judge. So you got exhibit A and B kind of showing the parameters of the land, and then the document itself is going to track. So it should be pretty clear for anybody that looks. And then I'm going to go into the road Bible and make a note. There's not really any fancy way to do it after talking to some attorneys. It's just going in there and kind of noting in there, hey, on this date, this section of road was abandoned. That way, when we're all doing different jobs and there's somebody else in these spots, when they go back and look, they can track that back. Yes, exactly. So this, like I said, I'm not going to give you the exhibit A and B. It's just the dimensions of the property and all of those things. The order itself has a spot for the county judge and then every commissioner. Now, I didn't give that to you before you, Judge, or Commissioner McGowan, so if you want a chance to look at it, we can table it, we can talk about it, whatever it is you may need to do, and I apologize for not giving it to you.
Why don't you put everything in there we're talking about?
Thank you. Appreciate that. I'll put that
Put it to bed.
be done with that.
motion to accept finalized documents to abandon County Road 298.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye? Motion carried.
I'll also get you that sign.
I'll put that in that file that I got on that,
Absolutely.
since we started that.
I have it, so just to make sure everybody.
This is before, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I realize now I had a little, formatting and everything. Judge decided after you. I'm sorry, I had a little bit of a error. That's you right here.
Oh, okay.
Two copies of that. Yes, should I hold that till Commissioner Bonner get his final signature on there, and then I'll get it filed. Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Brian.
Item number 17 is to discuss, consider possible action to select a municipal financial advisor. On this, today, Ben Rosenberg is here. He's been to our court before. While there are several companies that do this, and just for the public that is not aware who this company is, we're doing our best to have a bond on the November ballot. That bond would be for the county to try and build a new jail and possibly a justice center accommodating the jail. To do that, there's a lot of things that are time sensitive and have to be done. There are dates that we have to have things filed for and stuff like that. So it's important to us to get it on a November ballot because our county we're spending several hundreds of thousands of dollars per year on out-of-county housing for inmates. And also, and that factors in the transportation cost of getting them to and from. We're housing counties and inmates in 7 counties right now, if I'm not mistaken. So our 43-bed jail, which continuously has issues with central air and heat, plumbing is weekly, electrical, and then just some of the functionality of the jail itself does not function properly. So it's very old, it's outdated, it's grandfathered. The jail commission has come back with us and advised us to build a 144-bed jail, size-wise. To put that in perspective, today we typically average, would you say a tick over 100 inmates, pretty constant to 40 as a total? You stay around that 100 mark? Or
Yeah, we're right there in the low 90s.
In the 90s for sure.
Yeah, we're right there in the low 90s. In the last year, we've almost doubled the jail population.
So, and of course, that number that they give us, that is, I think it's great because we were hoping it wouldn't come in at a 200-bed facility and we didn't want it to be too small where we still have to go through the same issues of transporting and paying out-of-county costs. It does allow for us to do what other counties are doing and house inmates in empty beds, you know, when we have them. And when we look at that, I was even looking at how many inmates that it takes to cover positions because the population of jail dictates how many jailers you're going to need. In a situation like this, there would be I guess would be a nurse, which is a cost that we don't have right now. hopefully it comes back to save us money because we, you know, the ambulance doesn't come up here and get somebody for free, so we don't have that medical attention on site. But at the same time, those additional beds could help cover the cost of additional employees, jailers, and that medical cost. So financially, it makes very good sense.
And the new layout, the way they're designed, it's less jailers per inmate compared to where we're, I mean,
Compared to the way it's designed.
yeah, that's
The
part of
way,
our.
the way the layout is,
Yeah.
we have to have so many on shift here because of the layout.
Yeah.
And I know we're getting off track, I was just trying to inform people that were listening while we're discussing this, but after looking at our options, I do feel that Mr. Rosenberg and his company is a good fit for our county. Our county, we have no record of the county ever going out for a bond election. And so this will be a first for us. Mr. Rosenberg feels that because the county is not in debt, that we can get a good credit rating, which makes our bonds more valuable, and we're the one helping us do that. As far as fees, he is cheaper. I'm not saying he's the cheapest out there, but he's cheaper than anyone that I've talked to. So I 100% recommend today that we do move forward, because again, this is time sensitive as far as the financial advisor, as well as what's next on our agenda being architect.
How much are we talking about? How much money are we paying in fees to this company? Do you know?
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, sir, but nothing if the bond doesn't pass.
Correct. We're working with a professional services contingent fee contract. If the bond election doesn't pass, you never borrow money, you never pay me a dime. It's a percentage of the total amount that you borrow. Goes down. It goes from 1 down to 0.25% as a percent of the total amount you borrow. And that's very competitive.
And our first step is to get a not to exceed fee amount, which that's what the voters will see on the ballot. So we've got to get to that point. But your fee at the 25 is, there's some of them that's upwards of 75. So. So I guess I'm asking for someone, the motion would be, and let me get the full name of the company.
U.S. Capital Wealth.
It's U.S. Capital Wealth, no. Okay. So for U.S. Capital Wealth to be chosen, selected as our municipal financial advisor.
I'll make that motion.
I'll say.
I have a motion and a second, all in favor, aye? Aye. Motion carried. And item number 18 is to discuss and consider possible action to select jail architect. And I think that kind of bleeds over into approving the selection of architect, which is number 21. So on number 18, as far as discussion goes, is I have background in research 4 different architects. Out of the 4, and of course, again, there's more that you can do. There's, you know, you could spend months, and this has taken months. But out of the 4 that I thought had the best potential to work with our county, 2 of them were, I struck them just because of some recommendations, some work that they'd done. I'm talking about years ago. And I just didn't get good recommendations. Some of these were from county judges, and some of it was from county sheriffs. And that left 2. And out of those 2, one of those companies, I didn't get any bad feedback or anything. They are an extremely large company, almost kind of like too big for our county, in my opinion. But definitely nothing bad to say about them. And if we need to further discuss this, we can. DRG and Associates is the company that I'm going to recommend after my research.
Was the big one out of state?
They have an office in Dallas, but they have offices
Okay.
all over. In talking with Houston County over there, what I'm talking about now, they built their jail, they added on to their jail. It was actually built to be added on to recommendations, and as far as their continual keeping up with the county and the needs of the jail and staying with it, it's been that was a huge, when I'm scoring these different companies, BRG outscored everybody on my notes. So, again, they are just the architect, not the builder, not the contractor, anything like that. But they're kind of like when we were talking about courthouse representative. Once bids come in and we get that amount, they work for us. They are our representatives. So they're doing more than just drawing the blueprints for the jail. They're with us till the end. And not just on the architect and the building, but also helping us with the bond election and getting the information out there to the voters to show why financially it's something we should have already done, but it's the right thing to do when we want to look 10, 20, 30 years down the road.
I just think we need to make sure that when we build this jail, that we fix it in the right way so that we don't have to have so much manpower, and we have I call them pods, I don't know what the jail people call them, but you need to develop it. So if that pod is empty, you don't have to have staff there, is that correct? That's true. But if there's one person there, you gotta have that. So they need to be fixed so that we don't have to have personnel that's not needed. And I'm assuming that these architects will look at that.
We looked at those plans, that's the same, basically, I mean.
Yeah, that was a bigger set of plans.
Yeah, we were condensing it.
So what I'm saying is we're predicted to having 100 people in our jail, but we build a jail for 144, is that correct?
It doesn't mean we have to have the staff for 140.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
It'll be built.
We only have to have staff for what the number of people we have in there.
Right.
So if it's built right, with those pods, that can be empty until, or if you get some inmates from another county, then you can staff that.
Yeah, we've been talking, you know, like, since we're going over 92, you have to have a nurse on.
96.
96, it is in the 90s, that, you know, if we can fill those other beds, it'll offset that cost, you know, figure out what it takes.
But with the amount of jailers that you have now, it'll go to 100, and with the amount of jailers that you have right now, how many more jailers do you think you'd have to have for 144?
For 144, probably 6. That's just
What if it was
6 to 8 maybe? Because it depends on how many control rooms you have to. You gotta have one person in each control room, depending on the control rooms. But the architects, they do this for a living for jail, so they know all that.
And between now and then, I mean, we're wanting to do this.
One in the control room.
Yeah.
So this is to select it, and moving forward, this is to get us to the not to exceed amount for the ballot. If we're unhappy with the performance of this architect, we can run them off, you know? I mean, that's just, I hate to be so
Walk off,
but,
I quit running long enough.
it's, like I say, I'm going to recommend that every commissioner drive to Crockett, Texas, and visit with them, Houston County, tour their jail. They're accommodating, and you know, we can certainly do that. And that jail was built with the mindset of, hey, we might have to add on one day. So the initial build, your kitchen is larger, you're just not using all of it. Your laundry room is larger, you're not using all of it. But once they had to add on, that's all they had to add on. Everything else was there in place. So design-wise, this is not their first time. And there's other places that we can go. There's a lot of new build and some older stuff. Like when was Houston County deal?
It's, I think it's gonna pay off. It's 16 or 17 years. They're close to paying it off on their bond. And they paid it off with y'all's money.
Oh, yeah, we send them money every month. Falls County, Anderson County, Houston County.
For a long time,
Ellis
Limestone County took all of them.
Yeah,
And that
Cobb
was-
County and Limestone County.
Yeah, Limestone took them all for a long time until they cut us off, and then we had, and they were keeping them in the 40s a day, you know, pretty reasonable.
And nobody else, I was talking to Mr. Ben about this in the morning, nobody's gonna lock in those rates, at least when you build a new jail and you know what it costs and you know what your payment plan is, you've got a fixed cost. You
Yeah.
know what each inmate is gonna cost you from now until that bond is paid off. So you cut out all those unknowns. Whereas if we keep doing what we're doing, we're gonna keep having monthly expenses to keep this jail operating, and there's no guarantee that Limestone County or Falls County or any of those 7 counties are gonna maintain what they're charging us now. Right now, we're paying anywhere from
Is it?
50 to 80 ahead of that, depending on which county. So, and to think that those costs are not gonna increase, and they can increase them anytime they want.
It's a
There's nothing
statewide
saying they
issue.
have to.
Overcrowded jail is a statewide issue. It's not just us, it's everywhere.
Something else to remember is, I think our bid quote was 144, but that's only good till 2040. I mean, that's only 12 years, that's only 12 years from now, but that we're expecting it to even, we might even have even more than that, so 144 might not be.
They don't have much faith in society, do they?
Neither do I.
It costs us more to house prisoners in our jail than it does outside.
Yeah,
Currently.
yeah, currently it does.
That's crazy.
Well, technically, I've always argued that, because you're taking what the jail is, but you're not adding in how many deputies we got leaving this county every day for transport that aren't even here, protecting the citizens, which is what we're supposed to be doing. But instead, we turn into a transport company all day long.
And my other side of it is plus the liability going up down the highway.
We do 2 to 4
I mean,
transports a day.
that's a lot of liability for the county.
And another thing, people don't understand the courts, because by the time we transport somebody from just say Falls County back to here for court, and for whatever reason, their attorney doesn't show up, which is not uncommon, especially when someone is appointed counsel. And it happens all the time. And so then, too little too late, we find out, well, we just drug this sucker over here for nothing. Now we're going to have to take him back. And
It's got bad, just so everybody knows, probably the last 8, 9, 10 months.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of.
I mean, we've doubled in population in a year.
Yeah. Anyway, all that being said, to move forward, based on the interviews and stuff that I've done, is there a motion to select DRG? Let me look at this other. I guess we will no action on number 18 because we did our discussion. And if we can move to item number 21 to approve the selection of the architect. And we do have the conference qualifications books that are available for y'all to look at any time. So this is by the guidelines, what we're doing today. And again, I'm asking that motion be for DRG to be selected as that most qualified firm.
I'll make that motion. We'll go with DRG. Based on your recommendation, your homework. So we get the ball rolling. A second.
Motion and second, all in favor, aye?
Aye.
Motion carried. Item number, we're gonna skip you, Ms. Renee, if you don't mind.
Okay.
We'll skip 19 and 20 and go ahead and go to item number 22, authorize county judge to begin contract negotiations with selected architect for a fair and reasonable price. This is needed so that we can get to our not to exceed number which we're needing for bond. Motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion second, all in favor, aye. Motion carried. We'll go back to item number 19. It's the LGS addendum for county clerk's office. Renee, do we have that
Yes.
here?
Okay, yeah, just to give you a little history, in case you don't, some of y'all don't know what LGS is. We have a contract with LGS, and they handle all of our court records. And JPs, all the JPs, DA's office, district, I mean, throughout the county, we use LGS. So we got it, what, a year ago, April, and so we've had a year to use it, and it is top-notch, wonderful. In my office, I have two systems, LGS for the court records, and Nemo, which was CoFile, then became WOS, now it's Nemo, handles all our land records, vitals, and we cash out through them. We have 3 computers up at the front, you know, where we cash out. Especially since it went to Nemo, it has gone downhill just tremendously. We turn in trouble tickets every single day, and you'll get an email back, we received it. You may not hear back from them for a week. And then we were down. We had a computer to crash, one of ours, that their server went through. So Dane had a backup, brand new computer. I called him, he got over there. By mid-morning that morning, within a couple of hours, he had that computer set up. So we reached out to Nemo. You know, you've got to reconfigure the server into the system. We were down for 7 business days. We could not record a document. It was a nightmare. We couldn't do anything.
Death certificates.
We couldn't, death certificates, birth. We couldn't cash out somebody making copies. It just needed copies. Not only did that happen, for about 2 weeks, we have 4 kiosks, 4 computers. They're public computers that people can come sit down and research records. That was down. We could not make available the records that were online, and on paper they only go to 2011. So from 2011 to present was not even available for a landman to search or anything. Our website, it was down. Off and on, but Tammy, I mean, it was
a disaster.
It was overwhelming. It was stressful. It was
3.5 weeks or 4.5 weeks?
I don't
About
know.
4.
I mean, it was 3 to 4.
Would have been a big county, they'd have probably jumped, they might have done.
Fine, that happened on Monday, and I was very patient. They were saying, we'll have you up tomorrow. We'll have you up tomorrow. Come about Thursday, I flew up. I said, this is unacceptable. And if this was Dallas County or Harris County, which they have the same system, you would have had them up the very next day. And so I'm done with them, and in their contract, it states we guarantee you service every business day. But, so what I would like to do is have one computer system in our office instead of having 2. You know, if a customer comes in, if they want to look at probate, they got to get on LGS. If they want to search land records, they got to get on Nemo. We would have just LGS on the computer system, and so I reached out to them. Okay, the contract that we did a year ago, it included our land records. We're paying for it anyway through LGS. But we didn't want, you know, we were testing the waters with our court records. I didn't want to just take the whole entire office into a new system that we didn't know anything about. And we are happy with LGS. So, actually, before all this happened with us being down, I was reaching out to LGS and, you know, what would it take if we switched and then this happened and then it was like, oh, we cannot continue this way. So I reached out to them, and in this quote, the initial setup fee that LGS is charging is $16,850. And I've gotten with Kelsey, and I can pay that one upfront fee out of my special funds, so it won't come, and we can go ahead and do that now. And that's the deal. We gotta get this approved so we can get on their list for service. And on the second page, what we are paying them is $6,551, and that's for the whole county. That's for everybody. That's for my service district. That's everyone. Now we're going to add $197 to that, but COFAL was the first company, and what happened with them, they split, and so you got GovOS and you had COFAL. COFAL continued to do the indexing of all our records, so when it became GovOS, they, like, at the end of the day on the recordings, they would send those recordings over to COFAL, they would index them, and they get sent back. It's like a third party doing the indexing. And then now, like GovOS, went to Nemo, they are charging us $1,150 a month for indexing. Same company. The LGS is $197 a month.
What about the online copies and the money?
Okay.
Because we don't.
Yeah, okay, so Nemo is costing us every month $5,020 is for their fees. And then when people down purchase copies, we get like 50 cents on the dollar. And so they subtract that. It might be $2,500 for the month, get subtracted from that $5,000, we're paying them $2,500, but it's different every single month because we don't know what that revenue is going to be. And so they adjust that bill every month. With LGS, our portion will be about $1,900. It's $1,500. We added $200 to that because there were 2 computers down there they did not allow for. So the county clerk's portion is $1,700, and then in this contract you add the $197, so it's roughly $1,900 a month is what we'll pay for this service. Plus, we will make 100% of the revenue instead of 50% of the revenue. And if, you know, before, it was sometimes we'd get a check for $2,500. That $2,500 with LGS would turn into $5,000. Because it's a dollar a copy, and they will cut us a check. They won't adjust the bill. The bill's going to be the same every month, and then they'll cut us a check for that revenue. Money-wise, it's a no-brainer, and I'm just asking that you approve this addendum so we can go with LGS.
Is it going to be more user-friendly than COFAL?
More user-friendly.
I hope so.
I have gotten online for other counties that are using LGS, just to see how user-friendly it is. It's more user-friendly. The indexing is so much better, although I wanted to stay with COFAL on our indexing because it's important to landmen, title companies, they're used to seeing it a certain way out of our office.
Yeah.
It gives a description, so many acres, or what the abstract is. And so, I reached out to LGS and said, can you try to do a contract with COFO? And I was expecting over $1,000 added for the indexing. It's $197. I mean, I just couldn't believe that. And so, we'll be able to keep the same indexing, and, it is more user-friendly. Before, with an email, when you index something, it throws just other names in there that might be similar. You put in John King, you got a Jonathan Kingston in there, and and you have to really hunt for what you're looking for your name. With this one, whatever name you put in there, that's how it comes up. And so it is more user-friendly. And actually on their website, they'll, whatever we decide to put on there, we're gonna put our criminal and civil, make that stuff available. And you go to that website, there's a bubble for property records, criminal, probate, whatever. And Tammy and I went to Houston County, they have LGS, and to visit with the girls doing the recording, and that's actually using it, on that end, and they absolutely love it. And so, but they index their own, and so LGS told us they don't do any indexing, and the girls are like having a fit, we want to do our own indexing. I said, well, let's see what we can do. That would take a whole nother employee to add to our office to do that, so it's not feasible to do that anyway. But, so I'm asking that y'all approve this addendum to the LGS contract.
I made a motion to approve the LGS addendum to county clerk's office.
I'll second. Motion is second, all in favor, aye.
Thank y'all so much.
I guess we're hoping this, I hate to know.
Oh, well, we do
We
too.
already have like the 20.
Thank you.
Item number 20 is to review and consider possible action on quote for additional security cameras for the county clerk's office and the courthouse. What this is when all our new cameras are Katas. Again, we own the cameras. This quote includes a 5-year license. Again, we own them, so we pay this one time. There's no monthly anything associated with it. What this would do would be to put the camera in the courthouse by the elevator on the second floor. It's been out, not repairable, so we'll be replacing that camera. As far as any blind spots that we have left on the exterior of the courthouse square, we have a camera on the old federal building that points south across the road towards the jail / county clerk's office. So one of these cameras would be going back the other direction. There would be one on this corner, southwest corner of the building, which it's the multi-dollar one. It's called a dome camera. So what it basically does is it hits 270 degrees instead of, so it goes around the corner. So.
And that one will cover that my employees leaving.
Yeah, that's the west door that they use.
And then we take the money out goes out that door, so.
And then on the inside of the building, which I think our office is the last one that we don't have anything in that's handling money. And so it puts, was it 2?
They were gonna put one on each
It'd be
end.
4, that's right, it's 4 small ones inside.
And then one down the hall and
Oh.
one, pointing to the front door.
So that would kind of complete us on these camera projects that we've been working on. I think looking at budget this year and budget next year and everything going on, if we can, doing it this year would benefit us. And as far as this company, we have Jeffrey, we already have their,
I'm not sure who it is.
Yeah, they've done
yeah.
the tax office, yeah, we've. Man, everything.
NOUVEAU, Marketing Solutions.
Yes, maybe.
Well, the good thing is the service for this is out of Buffalo, Texas too. So, you know, they have an office in Dallas, but we hadn't had any trouble with it. It's been a good fit for our county.
We got the money.
We did. It's just kind of like tidying up all these loose ends.
Make a motion to approve the additional security cameras for the county clerk's office.
I see. Motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Carried. Item number 23 is to review and accept an update of flood damage prevention ordinance for Keystone County.
Hello, how are y'all doing? I'm back. Okay, so, I've got some handouts that Leonard provided to me. He was not able to take today's meeting. I did, while sitting here, I got an email from the Texas Water Development Board, which they do some stuff with FEMA. The reason why we are talking about doing this flood damage prevention ordinance, whenever Leonard and I and Renee were looking back at court records, it looked like we had not done anything since 1978. Whenever I got this email from Kate with the Texas Development Water Board just 10 minutes ago, she said the last one that we did was back in 2001. That is on FEMA's records. To be compliant with everything, they're wanting us to, FEMA and the Texas Development Water Board, they're wanting us to update our flood damage prevention ordinance. From Kate's email, we need to have everything submitted by June the 10th, back to her. So if need be, to where we have Leonard here to kind of explain a little bit more, because I know he knows a lot more about this than I do. I'm fine with tabling it until the next meeting, since our next meeting will be before June 10th. And if we have to have a special meeting before or after that, we can work something. But I just think, just for sake of trying to explain why we're needing this and everything, I feel like it'd just be better if Leonard was here. He just couldn't make it to today's meeting.
There a motion to table item number 23?
Yeah, I'll make that motion. Second.
A motion and a second, all in favor, aye. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
Any comments from commissioners?
I just wanted to make a correction on number 11, if we could make it effective date for 5/24, the beginning of a new pay period.
Effective May the 24th, 2026. Anything other than that? We need to re-vote on that, put that date on there?
Yeah, because what was decided is what
Right.
was said before.
We will go back to item number 11 on the sheriff's office salary grades. The change that we made the first time we visited on item agenda number 11 will be effective May 24th, 2026. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Motion and second, all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Any other comments from the commission? Your motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Second.